Okay, so let me share my first concern with you all. There are two more people who are joining us. Let them come and then I will be beginning. Zara Askar has just joined. Let me see. All right. Um, Daniel, you need to turn on your camera, otherwise I will not do your attendance. Kamar, are you with me? Can you hear me? Kamar Nisar. Abdullah Asif, can you hear me? Abdullah Asif. Hamza Hussain.
Yes, ma'am. Just a second. I'm turning a video on.
Okay. All right, I just wrote a message to everyone in the chat box. You all are supposed to turn on your cameras, otherwise I'm not doing your attendance. Kamar Nisar, I'm not hearing from you. Can you hear me? Are you here? Please do not come to the class only for the sake of attendance. Sure, Nimra, take your time, but I want your camera to be on. Hube Zahra, beta, you are with me. Maybe you joined, you logged in from 2 accounts. Is that the case?
No, ma'am. I don't know. Maybe some
You
connection
logged
issues.
out and then logged back in?
Yeah.
Okay, then maybe that's the reason. Okay, that's okay. Maybe Kamar is not with me. Again, I do not want your presence here only for the sake of attendance. All right. Now I have a couple of concerns to discuss with you. My first concern is again related to assessment. Since we have switched to online, completely online learning now, and we were heading towards the end of the semester, I would like to make brief changes into assessment plan. And I told you that there will be an assignment, not an assignment, a sort of presentation, which is related to your favorite columnist, and then your favorite columnist, and reasons for liking him or her. And then I also told you that you will be evaluated finally for your writing portfolio submission. But considering the circumstances, now I am thinking about giving you an exam. Um, uh, yes, writing session is there. I will give you marks for your participation in writing center. We have 2 more writing sessions coming in line. uh, but with that, instead of asking you to submit a portfolio, I am planning to give you an exam where you will exercise your writing skills to demonstrate what you have learned in the class. I'm still working on it. I'm developing a plan, and I will share it with you soon after I have actually thoroughly planned it. The other thing is, when I met you in my last class before the online learning, I was halfway through grading your first quizzes that you took when we were doing in-person classes. Now I'm open to any suggestions. How can I share your score, and how can I mean, if you have any questions, although you all, I believe majority of you already know about your performance, how can I still share? If you have any concerns, if you want further clarification, how can I share your exams with you? How is that possible? I did think about this possibility that I can maybe take pictures of your exams and then share them with you via email or what. But it's not possible. It's a 2 pages long exam, and for each student, I mean, I have 40 students in class, and for each student, taking pictures and then uploading them is it's a lot of work. How should I do that? Any suggestions, any ideas? I'm open to ideas. Do I have anyone who missed the exam? Abdul Rahman, did you take the exam, bete? I think I checked your paper. Yes.
No, ma'am.
Did you miss it, Abdul Rahman?
Yes, ma'am.
And what was the reason? May I ask?
मैम मेरा पाँव फ्रैक्चर था, मैंने आपको मेल की थी.
Oh yes. Please refer to that email again.
Okay,
And I
ma'am.
will see what I can do in your circumstances. What I usually do is if I give a makeup exam, that always comes with deduction of some points until and unless I verify that you missed it because of a genuine reason. Okay. Isn't your roll number 22-10435?
Okay, ma'am.
Abdul Rahman. Can you please confirm, Abdul Rahman?
Yes, ma'am.
Is your roll number 22-10435?
Yes, ma'am. It's 221035.
Bete, what exam you are talking about? You didn't miss it. I have your exam with me. You scored 12 marks out of 20.
मुझे लगा शायद उसके बाद भी कोई हुआ.
Here is, can
ये
you,
वाला मैंने दिया था मैंने. ये
Yeah,
वाला अटेम्प्ट किया था, मुझे लगा इसके बाद शायद कोई हुआ.
this is the only exam I gave so far. That's why I was wondering,
ma'am.
because I remember grading your paper. Maybe you are referring to a writing session. Is that so?
नो मैम, राइटिंग सेशन मैंने कर लिया था ऑनलाइन. मुझे लगा शायद उसके बाद कोई हुआ है एग्जाम
Maybe.
क्लास में.
No, I haven't given any exam after that. What you can do is you can, okay, here is something that I would like to request. Please write me an email to ask about the quiz exams, quiz score, and I will respond to that email. I will tell you your score. If you have any further problem and you feel like you need to see where your marks were deducted, in that case, I can take the picture and send you a copy, a picture of your exam. Does it make sense? Faraz has just raised his hand. Go ahead, Faraz.
Yes, ma'am. I just wanted to suggest that you could just share the scores here on.
Is that okay with everyone? If I share the scores here, is that okay?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, please raise your hand if that's not okay
Yes,
with
ma'am.
anyone. Please raise your hand because I respect your privacy. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. So then I request each of you to send me an email to ask about your quiz score. I will tell you what is your score, and if after seeing the score, if you still have confusion, if you feel like that your score is not justified, you have right to know how your exam was evaluated. In that case, write me an email and tell me that you would like to see a picture of your graded exam, and I will take pictures and send them to you. Okay? Okay? To respect your privacy, I'm not sharing score here. I can do individual messages here telling everyone about the scores, but again, in that case, that is going to be time taking. So let's not do that. Okay? All right. Let's talk about our today's business. I do not have any lecture for today. However, I just wanted you to work on an activity, and I will assign that in a minute. But before that, let me announce one more time that we will have our fourth and second last writing session this coming January. All right. Now, I also understand that many of you do not have laptops and you take part in writing session using your phone. So it may be difficult for you to use the same device for online class and for writing session activity as well. For this reason, it's okay if you only take part in the writing session and will not have this virtual session. Okay? Does this make sense? Next class on 27 January, Thursday, will only work on writing session. It's okay if you do not, will not do any class. Any questions about that?
No, ma'am.
Fasi, bete, theek hai?
Yes, ma'am. ठीक है.
Who runs the WhatsApp group? Does Fasi has it
No, ma'am, covered us.
covered us? But you still have access to that, right?
Yes,
You may
ma'am.
one of you may want to share the message with the rest of the students that will only work on the writing session and there isn't going to be class. I mean, I will be there, of course, seeing everyone's work, and for everyone, it's important to take part in the writing activity. I would like to share an important information with you all. Just give me a minute. Let me pull that up. Just give me a minute. Bear with me. All right. Hi everyone, I'm back. So I have a great news to share with everyone. One of your class fellows, his name is Raja Zain, he was able to get his letter to the editor published in a national level publication. The newspaper's name is the Express Tribune. It's a great achievement. It gives you a sense of accomplishment, and it gives you a sense of success and an excitement when you see your name published in the newspaper. I am going to share the link in the chat box. I just shared it. Raja Zain was able, one of your class fellows, Raja Zain was able to get his letter to the editor published in a national level publication, and he is going to get 5 bonus marks for this achievement. Join me congratulating Zain for working on it. He was very serious about it, and I saw him consulting me a couple of times in class. I mean, he showed me his write up, and he wanted my feedback on that. Not only that, when he had sent it to the newspaper, he was still in contact with me, asking me that for how long do I have to wait, and how long do they take usually, and these kind of questions. Okay, I think this is it.
Thank you, everyone.
It's wonderful, Zen. Keep up your good work. Now, since you have published in newspaper, you have gone through the process. My suggestion is do the same activity a couple of times, maybe try your luck in other newspapers. And then in third or fourth attempt, you may want to write something for their, let's say, magazine where they publish features. And this is how you will be developing your portfolio. This is also a great CV line. And once you develop your connections with them, you may again think about a job possibility in the English newspaper organization. Somebody raised hand. Did Faraz raise his hand or Fasi?
No, ma'am, it was me. मैं chat पे जाता तो गलती से उस पे हो गया click.
Oh, okay,
Sorry.
that's okay. All right. In last class, we worked on an activity, and the activity was related to reading some articles in the Sunday magazine of the newspaper. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. Just raise your hands. Who knows the name of Dawn's Sunday magazine? Ji. Ji, did anybody raise hand? What's the name of Dawn's Sunday magazine? Acha ji, chale, I'll tell you. The name of Dawn Sunday magazine is Images. Bete, here is one more thing. I wanted to request, if today is the first day of online teaching, I wanted to request everyone to please come on time. When you keep coming late, it's important for me. It's difficult for me to keep a track of who is following my information and who is not. And another thing is always turn on your cameras. Your cameras should be on for the whole time. I am going to write something in the chat box. This is our today's activity. So listen to my instructions first carefully. All right, I wrote some words in the chat box. It's Smoker's Corner Dawn. All right, I would like you to go to your Google page and write these words there. When you click the first link, it will pull up some features contributed by, actually these are columns which were published in Dawn by Nadeem Farooq Paracha. Just read some of the article, as many as you can, and I'm going to give you 5 minutes for this, and talk about the characteristics of this writer. They are written by the same person. He writes Nadeem F. My power just went out. Just bear with me. Ji, Nadeem F. Paracha. He abbreviates the middle part of his name. His name is Nadeem Farooq Paracha. They are written by him. I'm going to create your rooms, breakout rooms. Read his any two of his articles for 5 to 7 minutes, and then engage in an activity. Activity is talk about his characteristics and write and agree. I mean, it's important for all of you to agree upon the characteristics that you see in his writing. And then I'll join your rooms, and I'll be discussing with you your progress in conversation. Any questions about this activity? Do I have any questions about this activity?
No, ma'am.
All right.
Yes, ma'am. What do we have to do in this activity?
Right now, I'm going to create breakout rooms. I will create almost 4 rooms, and in each room there will be, I will create almost 5 rooms. There will be 3 to 4 rooms. There will be 3 to 4 persons in each room. Okay, your time begins now. All right, you can begin.
मैम
Gigi.
मैम मैंने उसका आर्टिकल खोला तो उसमें ना उसके डिफरेंट आर्टिकल आ रहे हैं तो हमने वो स्टडी करने हैं
Yes.
और अपनी पसंद के जो भी
G, read any article, and you can spend 5 to 6 minutes, and then with the participants in your room discuss characteristics of his writing. ठीक है सुबह? Come up.
Alright.
Try to come up with at least 5 characteristics.
of one article.
जी बेटे.
Okay, miss.
There are going to be 4 persons in each room. Okay, I have created 5 rooms, and there are going to be 4 persons in each room. Your time begins now. Beta, please join rooms. Daniel, Suba, you have not joined your room. There should be a link appearing on your screen. Join. Hit that link and you will be in your room. Good. Ji bete, have you all begun your reading? Hamza, Suba, Daniel, and Calvin?
Yes, I'm reading.
Okay.
I'm reading the article Frog in the Well.
Yeah. So each of you read your articles, whatever you want to read for 5-6 minutes, and come up with at least one attribute, one characteristic. Okay. By the end, you all 4, Hamza, Suba, Calvin, and Daniel, you all should come with just one characteristic. Okay. Now I'll go to another room and I'll come back to your room shortly. जी बेटे, is everything fine? Kamar, Patrick, Abdur Rahman, Abbas, and Irtaza Athar are here. Bete, turn on your cameras.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
Have you
it's
begun
fine.
your reading? Have you begun your reading?
Ma'am, we are just deciding which article to read.
Yeah, don't take too long. You have only 5 minutes. I will come back to your room shortly to see how is your conversation coming. Each of you is supposed to come with one characteristic, any one characteristic. By the end, in 5 minutes, I'm going to ask you, okay, Patrick, what was the characteristic that you found in his writing? And same question for Kamar, same question for Ertaza, and same question for Abdur Rahman Abbas. Okay? I am leaving
Okay,
and
ma'am.
I'll be back in 5 minutes again.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Gigi.
हम सबने एक ही आर्टिकल पढ़ना है या सबने अलग-अलग आर्टिकल?
You can read any article of your choice. You all do not have to
Okay.
read same article. ठीक है? शाबाश.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Hello, Aline. How are you? You joined a little late. Are you okay? How are you doing this morning? Can you please turn on your camera? Aline, can you hear me? I have Hamza, Faraz, and Zain in this group. Any problem? Do you all know? Okay, one thing, you all do not have to read the same article. You can read any article of your choice. Read it for 5 minutes and then come up with just one characteristic of his writing. Then you will come up with one characteristic. Aline will come up with one characteristic. Muhammad Hamza will do the same, and Faraz as well. Any questions? Aline is having some problem
No,
with, I don't know. Any questions? Faraz, bete, please turn on your camera, and so is for you, Hamza, Heather. Any question? I'll come back to your room shortly. Okay? All right, in this room, I have Fatmeen, Fasi, Nimra, and Abdullah Asif. Abdullah Asif, bete, please turn on your camera and keep it on for the whole time. Acha, bache, I wanted to tell you that all of you do not have to read the same article. You can read any article of your choice. And then you have 5 minutes. I will come back to your room in 5 minutes. Each of you has to come with one characteristic. Like Fasi will suggest one characteristic of his writing. Nimra will do the same. Abdullah will do the same. And Fatimeen will also do the same. Any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right.
No, ma'am.
I'll come back to your room shortly. Thank you.
सॉरी क्या चीज
All right. Hello, how are you? Zara joined late. Zara, I assigned you to be group 5 because there were 3 people. Now there are 4 people, including you. I wanted to clarify that all of you do not have to read the same article. You can choose any article of your choice, any article that appeals to you. Read it for 5 to 6 minutes and then come up with just one characteristic. So like Hube Zahra will suggest one characteristic of Nadeem Faracha's writing. Hubab will do the same, Zahra will do the same, and Daniel will do the same. So by the end, I'll come back to you in about 5 minutes. All right. I'll be back to your room shortly. And by that time, you should be done with your discussion. All right. Any questions?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. I'm going to.
सॉलिड इन्फॉर्मेशन और अपना जो है ना डाटा जो भी उसने कलेक्ट किया वो बहुत ज्यादा रेलेवेंट है उसकी डिस्कशन से.
Ji bache, are you done? Your time's up. Suba,
Yes,
you were
miss.
good job. Suba, you were discussing a characteristic better. Will you go over it quickly?
मैम उसने जो फ्रॉग इन द वेल में डिस्कशन की है ना, वो बहुत ज्यादा सब्जेक्ट उसने रखा हुआ है इस्लाम रिलीजनिज्म को, ठीक है ना। ये उसका सब्जेक्ट है जो उसने जो है ना बहुत ज्यादा जो है ना उसने फोकस किया हुआ है, एक पर्पस के साथ वो अपना मैसेज कन्वे कर रहा है।
शाबाश।
ऑब्जेक्ट और सब्जेक्ट उसने जो है ना मेंटेन रखे हुए हैं, और उससे अपने आर्टिकल से रिलेटेड उसने बहुत सॉलिड इन्फॉर्मेशन प्रोवाइड किया है, जिसमें उसने जो है ना पाकिस्तान की जो है ना बिगनिंग से जो भी एम्फसाइज था ना कि इस्लाम एक डेमोक्रेटिक स्टेट होगी, इस तरह से उसने सारे एक्सप्लेन किया हुआ है जो हमने ऑब्जेक्टिव रेजोल्यूशन में पढ़ा हुआ है।
शाबाश.
तो सारे पॉइंट्स उसने बताए।
Very good. So what you have said is his information appears to be based on research. This is what I have
ऑन रिसर्च पर्पस भी है, सब्जेक्ट भी है, ऑब्जेक्टिव भी है।
Oh, so Suba sees a lot of substance in his research. By substance, I mean he sees research, he sees information, facts. I think this is what he's saying, right, Suba?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, miss.
All right, good. Calvin Bede, would you like to come up with any characteristic? Thank you.
Ma'am, he is very blunt in his writing. He is not afraid to write what he thinks.
Okay, very good. It's a very good observation. Thank you, Calvin. Calvin just said that he appears to be blunt and very open. Good job. Hamza Habib ji bete, what was the characteristic that you
Ma'am,
noticed?
his observation is pretty vast.
Keen observer. Very good.
Yes.
Shabash. And Danial Ali. Danial ji bete.
Miss, he's a really versatile writer. Like different चीजों के बारे में detailed चीजें होती हैं और mostly related to the past.
Yes, ma'am, he gives background as well to the whole issue.
Very good. Shabash. Thank you for taking part in this activity. Your observations are really great. Let me go to other groups and shortly I'll ask you to join the main room. All right. I'm leaving this
Okay.
room now. Thank you. Ji bache, I'm back. Your time's up. So let's begin with Patrick. Please turn on your cameras. I request you to turn on your cameras. Ji Patrick, better, what was your observation? What did you observe about Nadeem?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, so I was reading the article that is Frog in the Well, and then I was just starting another article. But so, ma'am, I feel like most of his like writing is based on conflict. Like
Conflict?
he, yeah, conflict. Like he's talking about two different things in different, like in many articles he's talking about like conflict. Like the one which I was reading, that was about ethnic and religious like according to
Perspectives.
that, yeah,
Okay,
perspectives.
good.
So I feel like conflict is always there in the article.
Shabash. This is your feeling. Ji Abdur Rahman.
Ma'am, I'm still reading.
All right, take your time. Ji
Okay, ma'am.
Irtaza बच्चे.
जी मैम, मैंने अभी तक पूरा नहीं पढ़ा, लेकिन जितना मैंने पढ़ा है काफी डिटेल में लिखा हुआ है इन्होंने, और काफी क्लियर और इजी वर्ड्स में लिखा हुआ है जो मैंने अभी तक एनालाइज की.
Seems detailed and accessible.
Yes, ma'am.
Abdur Rahman and Irtaza, please, I think, speed up your reading. You are a little late. I'll ask
Yes,
you
ma'am.
to take part
Yes,
in
ma'am.
conversation shortly. Kanwar. Ji Kanwar.
Yes, ma'am. It is very elaborative, and he said that the problems are very deep rooted even before the creation of Pakistan.
So what do
That's
you want
why,
to say? Kanwar, what do you want to say?
ma'am, he has very elaborative knowledge about his.
Seems to be a well-read person.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. Good. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Your activity has finished now. I will shortly let you join to the main session and then I'll sum it up. Thank you. I'm going to the third joining room. You will see me shortly.
Okay, ma'am.
जी बच्चे जी Zain, just very quickly, what is your observation about Nadeem Farooq Paracha? Zain or Faraz or Aleen, anyone who wants to go? So okay, Zain is saying he writes on political religious issues. Ji, Faraz, go ahead.
Yes, ma'am.
What's your
So
observation?
in my opinion, he seems like a socialist or a leftist, and also he's someone who doesn't seem to like mixing religion with politics.
Okay,
He
yeah,
likes to keep them separately,
shabash.
and he also seems to be a very harsh critic on um, like the government policies and
Shabash. It's a very good observation. I'm glad. I'll sum it up in shortly. Hamza, is there anything you would like to say? Aline has written that he provides a strong background information to help understand the current address issues. Good job. Hamza, your take.
Ma'am, according to his articles about Islam, I think it's very harsh and very critical condition in his articles about Islam, and the people who are not properly adopting the things of it. And yes, ma'am, that's
So his writing appears to be harsh. Do you want to say he appears to be bold in his style?
yes, ma'am, kind of not that much, but to some extent, yes.
All right. Thank you for your thank you for taking part in this activity. I'm leaving this room, and I have one last room to collect information, and then I'll sum up everything. Shortly, I'll ask you to join the main session. All right. Just bear with me. Shortly, you will be in the main room.